Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and today's kind of an exciting day here. We are going to reintroduce ourselves, I guess you could say, to an old friend. Friend I haven't seen in several years, and this used to be a mainstay of the channel. In fact, it was the first computer I ever showed here on YouTube. And that, my friends, is the Packard Bell Legend 1510 Supreme. This is the first Packard Bell I ever collected after my childhood, that is. I've had this since 2005, and it celebrated its 20th anniversary back in March, sitting in a storage unit, unfortunately. But finally, I'm able to get around to this and put it back together. I think the last time I used this computer was sometime around 2019, 2020 or so. I feel like it was before the pandemic, so it's been a while, and unfortunately, reason it's in this state right now is because I've borrowed a lot of its parts over the years for other projects. But we're putting everything back together the way it should be, because the 1510 Supreme deserves respect. It doesn't deserve to be like this. So in this video, we're going to put it back together, see if it still works after 5 or so years, put an OS on it, and take it for a spin. So we'll go ahead and get started. First, we'll go through the parts. Of course, we got a Packard Bell sound modem card we got to put in there. Got a PCI network card, I hope it'll work. Got to put our front plate back on there, blanking plate. It's missing some trim panels, but I've got them. Don't know if this is original, but I know this front accent is original because I recognize this worn out power button from the 1510. Of course, got to add a riser card, various IDE cables and floppy cables, and we gotta add a floppy and CD-ROM drive. I took this out of my non-functioning 406 CD a while ago. We'll just move its drive cage over. This is unfortunately not the original CD-ROM drive. Wish I still had it. I don't know where it is now. But let's get started. I think maybe the first place we should start is the riser card. Go ahead and plug this in. Go. It'd probably help if I had a screwdriver and screws. Well, I see some screws down here actually, but I still need a screwdriver. Okay, found the screwdriver. We'll put this metal bracket in place to hold it in. I can remember how it goes. Okay, I think I got it figured out. It just hooks in there. By the way, this computer was built September 5th of 1996. I bought it in March of 2005. Well, it was still only 9 years old, but already old by that point. This was actually my very first eBay purchase. And it only came from Thomasville, North Carolina, which was only like 45 minutes away. Came with the computer, the monitor, the keyboards, all the goodies, which we may take a look at a little bit, except for the monitor. Unfortunately, even though it was only a 45-minute distance, UPS still managed to smash the monitor. And it was just completely non-functioning, so I had to go to a flea market that sold computer stuff nearby and get a 14-inch Dell CRT that was black. But hey, it worked. So next, I'll go ahead and add this drive blank and not let these screws fly over the place. There we go. The front of this computer does need to be retro brighted, unfortunately. It's just kind of hard to do when you live in an apartment. Okay, next, I think I will add the drive, the hard drive replacement, which is this CF card adapter. Bought this for another project a couple of months ago and didn't need it, but I saved it. And we'll have to find one of those power adapters. Alright, found one. Attach this. I no longer have the original 1.2 gig hard drive that came with this computer. That is long gone. I do remember it was a Seagate. Okay, actually first let's put the sound card in and the network card. Keeping these blanks out of here. I did take pictures of the network card in case I need to find drivers for it online. Oh, you know what? I need a CD-ROM audio cable. I just remembered. Okay, finding a CD-ROM audio cable took a little longer than I thought, but I managed to find one that will work on this. This computer requires one of these cords that has both ends on it. And unfortunately, all the ones I could find were like this, which won't work. I just borrowed this out of a Gateway 2000, which I do not like doing. I don't like borrowing parts from other computers to make another one work, but you gotta do what you gotta do, unfortunately. So I gotta figure out how I want these cards arranged. Okay, I think I want the CF card on the bottom. So I gotta figure out where the primary IDE is. Okay, so the one that's already plugged in is the secondary, so I'll hook this one up for primary. I hope this is the last time I have to rebuild this Packard Bell. First time was because I destroyed the CPU socket. So the original motherboard for this computer is long gone, unfortunately. Okay, and I'll route it through here. Okay, we'll screw it in. A lot of the parts for this computer build today come to us courtesy of the Legend 406 CD, which is similar to this computer. But I think the motherboard has water damage on it, because it's never really acted that reliable to me, and I have noticed some rust on the bottom, so I'm thinking a new motherboard for it may be in order. Same one this uses. This the power. Next, I believe, is the sound card. Go ahead and hook the CD audio cable up to it. I noticed on a lot of retro builds people do when they put the sound card in, a lot of times they don't even bother with the CD audio cable for some reason. Which is odd because a lot of games take advantage of that. That's just how I like to do things. And now finally the network card. Our one and only PCI card. Don't know if this will work in here or not. Now the floppy and CD drive. I think this CD-ROM came out of a Compaq, I think like a Desk Pro or something, that I parted out a couple years ago. I don't think I've even tested it. Hopefully it works. There we go. Alright, I think we're just about done. All we have to do really now is put this front accent on, and it will be a 1510 Supreme once again. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I can tell this needs retro bright. That's a shame because it used to look so nice when I first got it, but that was 20 years ago. So, now I need to find a place to test this. Okay, I don't have it in the very best spot, but I do have it hooked up enough for us to test it. Fingers crossed that this thing not only still works after 5 years or so, but doesn't go up in a bunch of smoke. Alright, 3, 2, 1. There we go. But I do think we have the floppy drive cable in backwards. Common mistake. Hey, it's looking really good. So let's flip that floppy cable around. That will hopefully be all we need to do. Okay, seems a little happier now. Yeah, after 5 years or so, still works just fine. Well, the date is almost right. It's about 10 months off. It is actually June the 3rd of 2025. And the time is 1:57 p.m. There we go. And it picked up my 2 gig CF card. And it looks like we got 40 megs of RAM in here. That's a good number. Only thing I'm not sure if it's going to work or not is the network card. But we'll see. I don't understand how the CMOS batteries on these old PB600 motherboards, they're, I believe, 2032s, but they're soldered to the motherboard. But they, after 30 years, they still work for the most part. I don't know what's so special about them, but I'm not complaining. It means I don't have to hook an external one up. Alright, I think I've got everything where we need it to be in order to format the drive and reinstall Windows. Put our boot floppy in. And this is the original master CD that came with this computer. Well, it's the same number and everything. The original got cracked in shipping back in 2005. And this is also the original keyboard, by the way, that came with this computer, which is also yellowed a bit. There it is right there. And hopefully the CD-ROM drive works. Okay. We might have to run F-disk on this first, though, because I think the drive is a FAT32 drive, and this is Windows 95A, which only supports FAT16, so I'm going to do some repartitioning here. Yep. I believe this was in a Gateway 2000 originally, but then I upgraded the CF card to a 4 gig, which I'd like to do this one too. Just gotta order one. I gotta restart again. Alright, we're restarted now and we can reformat. And that's just because it's a new partition. And I don't know what kind of error that is. Never seen that before. Well, it looks like it's still going to want to work, which is good. Now, this is an older and slower CF card, so it may take a little longer than a newer one will, so we'll just have a little patience here. Okay, formatting is complete. And unfortunately, the system credentials are long gone for this computer, but I do remember the format number. 556056. Okay, I put the wrong one in. I mean, I could have done a generic one, but I wanted to keep this as original as possible. Okay, let's try this again. 556065. That's it. Now we're good, and it looks like we got a functioning CD-ROM drive, which is very good. Hopefully I don't have to take this computer back apart for a while. Okay, while it's restoring everything, I think it might be a neat idea to look at the original documentation that came with the 1510 Supreme back in 1996. Yeah, I remember this envelope coming with our 822 back in the day. And I've shown this stuff on YouTube before, but that was years ago, and I think this is the first time I've done it on 4K. Okay, so first we got our Packard Bell Quick Start Guide. Welcome to the world of multimedia computing. Wow. It's basically just basic stuff. Shows you how to use Packard Bell Navigator. This one was updated for Windows 95, as you can see. And it even shows you how to use the TV tuner card if your computer came with it, which this one did not. And we got a manual for the CD collection, all the software that came with this computer originally. Again, mostly the same as the 822. Meet your CD software. All this stuff here is classic. Shows you how to use your CD-ROM drive. Shows you how to use Encarta. And the Pirate Who Wouldn't Wash and Millie Fitzwillie. And here's a quick little guide for the keyboard. Again, updated for Windows 95, as you can see. They're really pushing Navigator, it looks like. We used it sometimes, but not all the time. Tips for FaxWorks. Never used it. And for the integrated speakers for the monitor, shows you how to install them. Electronic library shows you how to use your, how to look up the manuals in Navigator. And apparently this shows you how to use the jumpers to set it to 120 megahertz. Important manual update information. Ooh. And this right here is I guess so you can fill out your warranty. Oh yeah, owner registration. Oh, now that's interesting. I never noticed this. It actually has the same sticker on that's on the back of the computer. So again, September 5th, 1996. Another registration card. Maybe I should fill this out. This stuff to the side, actually. Get out of the way. And the system credentials page. Yep, there's our format number we just put in. Yep, September 5th, 1996. It's probably Pacific time. And this is where the boot disc and master CD would go. Again, this got cracked in shipping back in 2005. Windows 95 quick tips for Microsoft Windows users. I tell you, you sure don't get stuff like this anymore when you get a computer. It's just, well, good luck. And Packard Bell update disk for Orlando system manual. Huh, now, I should probably image this. Forgot I had this. That's peculiar because this is not an Orlando board. And this is the... I don't think you really see these anymore either. You saw them a few times in the 2000s, I guess, but... This shows you how to hook up everything. It's a great big piece of paper. I think that was also damaged from shipping. Again, this thing only traveled 45 minutes. The World UPS. So yeah, good stuff. It's for a trip light surge protector. I guess this is the surge protector the original owners used with it. And because this was a Supreme model of Packard Bell, this came from Sears. Important information inside. Look at all those old 90s electronics and appliances. Sears brand Central. I think they put out some kind of extended warranty for this thing. And I think I even see the original receipt in here, but I'm not going to show it just because it has some personal information. Okay, I guess I can read off what's on the receipt. The 1510 Supreme looks like it was originally $1,300. The monitor, which unfortunately got destroyed in shipping back in 2005, $180. And no, actually, the monitor was $320. Whoa. The 180, I think, may have been the warranty. And this was originally sold at a Sears in Jacksonville, Florida. Or Lakeland, Florida, actually. And sometime between 1996 and 2005, it made its way to North Carolina. Okay, it's successfully restored, so we'll reboot it. Alright, good sign. Always a exciting screen to see. You know, I never did test the sound card. I hope it works. Because if it doesn't, this is going to fail. Alright, it seems to be okay. Thank goodness. I don't have any other ones to put in here. Read every single bit of that, don't worry. I actually have the Windows 95 product key memorized now. You know, it's a funny thing, I could not reformat this computer for about 5 years when I first got it, because the master CD was completely destroyed and didn't have access to another one at the time until 2010 when I finally found one and I was finally able to reformat it. Before then, I had to be very careful with my Windows install and not let anything break on it, because I had no way to restore it. And now for the most exciting splash screen in the world. Well, usually more exciting than that. Hey, if you want to look at it, go back and pause it. Ah, here it is. Getting ready to run Windows 95 for the first time. It never... what? How? Why is there a Windows protection error? Why? We were going so good. Everything was running so well. Oh, man. Okay, it was just a fluke, it looks like. I rebooted and everything seems fine now. And the 16 colors are normal. Trust me, everything is fine. Okay, sound seems mostly okay. Oh yeah, that's normal. So remember the first time I ever turned this computer on back in '05, and the pure disappointment that I felt through my soul when the monitor was all garbled. I had to take the LCD monitor off of my main computer at the time, which was the Dell Dimension 2350, move it over to the 1510 Supreme whenever I wanted to use it. I had to do that for about a month before I found that Dell CRT at the flea market. But now I have as many Packard Bell monitors as I need.
Welcome from Packard Bell. We offer you 2 computing environments to choose from: Packard Bell's Navigator or Microsoft Windows. You may also begin by taking a quick lesson on using the mouse.
My first snide mouse lesson comment happened on this computer. Why is everything crashing and burning? Do I need to mem test this? Okay, everything looks okay except for the network card that needs to be installed. But I think I might upgrade this to Windows 95B. Just because I do intend to move this installation over to a bigger CF card soon. I want to be ready for that. I think I'll do that off camera. Okay, I've got 95 OSR2 installed and converted to FAT32. Everything seems to be working mostly okay. I have had a lot of unusual crashes with this computer, like garbled text, the blue screen of death being garbled text actually, and different crashes and freezes. I tried to boot into memtest 86, but would not boot. I guess this computer's too old for it, but we'll just see what happens. Maybe it's the memory, I don't know. But let's close this off with a little gameplay with some Monster Truck Madness. There's always got to be Carolina Crusher. And no, this computer does not have any 3D acceleration whatsoever. I did have a Voodoo in here for a short time, and that worked fine in it, but I had other uses for it. And I'm used to playing this with a joystick, by the way. And the computer died again. Oh, this is fun. And Lumlock works, but... And that is a beep you usually hear when something goes horribly wrong. So yeah, maybe the issues with this computer are a little more serious than I thought. I don't know why this computer is so unstable. Hey, let's try this again. I am concerned now. Although I will say, my 406 CD was having the same behavior as well. And I am using the riser card out of it. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it or not, and I'm using the memory from it, but I remember switching the memory on it though, and it's still crashing and burning.
Airline pressure is doing it in the air.
So I don't know what the stability issue is. Because I have plenty of other Packard Bell PB600 boards that work just fine. Alright, we made it through that race without any issue. Alright. We'll end this video on a canyon test. How about that? Yeah, these later Packard Bell Master CDs use a software wavetable that sounds really, really good. I think it's from Brookstream. Had a compact laptop that used that as well. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I can get this computer running a little bit more stable. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. Please follow me on social media for channel and project updates. You may also support me on Patreon or as a channel member if you'd like. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off.